Welcome to this week's special segment of K&A Football. This week, Austin and I are going to be doing a Call It or Scrap It segment. Now, how does this work? Every time it's a Call It or Scrap It, I guess. Debbie will give Austin and I a question, kind of a yes or no type of question about the NFL, and Austin and I will then have to either call it, like call the play, or scrap it. We're saying no. We're saying don't run that play. We disagree. Wrong. So without further ado, I guess we'll just jump straight into the question. Debbie, do you have this week's Call It or Scrap It segment question?
I do have it. All right, so this week's Call It or Scrap It is all four NFC North teams make the playoffs. What do you guys think?
Ooh, I like that one actually. That's a good one. Obviously, if you would have asked me this question before the season started, the answer was always going to be no. Mm-hmm. You know, I didn't have that much faith in the Bears. A lot of people had a lot of faith in the Bears, but I didn't have that much faith in the Bears. I'm like, okay, yeah, they got Caleb Williams, but the Bears are still the Bears. We still got the same system going on. No, they're not going to be making the playoffs. The Vikings? Are you kidding me? No, the Vikings are not making the playoffs. They're trotting out Sam Darnold. Okay, like he's not going to be. Yeah, they have Justin Jefferson, but like they weren't even planning on starting this guy. They were planning on starting JJ McCarthy. That tells me everything I need to know. If he's going to be sitting behind JJ McCarthy, and the only reason Sam Darnold's playing is because he gets hurt, no, Vikings are not making the playoffs. Now we're in a situation where not only are the Vikings 5-0, sitting atop the NFC. And tied with the Chiefs for first place in the entire NFL. But if you were to look at the standings, like playoff picture right now, today, playoff start at this exact moment, we have the Vikings at 1 for the NFC, Falcons at 2, Commanders at 3, 49ers at 4. All right, there are division winners at the moment. Then we have the Lions at 5. There's an NFC North team. Buccaneers at 6, Packers at 7. They're an NFC North team. The Bears are sitting just outside right now. They're sitting at 8, and they have the exact same record as all of the non-division winners right now. Okay, other than the Lions because they played one less game. Mm-hmm. That is huge. Like, that is, like, they're sitting above the Eagles right now. They're sitting above the Cowboys. Obviously, they're sitting above the Saints, but they've been playing well in the first half of the season here. That's, I don't know, man. Like, that is a pretty good resume, you know, for the NFC North. All you need is I mean, it's a tough stretch because you need the Buccaneers to not make the playoffs,
or Atlanta,
right? Yeah, you need one of them to miss out. You know, not only win the division, but then the other one have a worse enough record to not make the playoffs. So, I mean, that's going to be tough because they're both playing really, really well. But other than that, like, I think they got a good resume for all of them making the playoffs.
So you're going to call it or you're going to scrap it?
I'm going to scrap it. Not because I don't think that all of the teams are playing really, really well. Like, they're all playing so well. But it is so hard for all four teams to make it. Like, you need... I mean, there's only 7 teams that make it in. So...
over half would be from their division.
Yes. So you need the entire non-division winners to be from your division. That's a tough task. I'm going to scrap it, but all the teams are playing really, really well.
Yeah. I'm also going to scrap this, like you said, not because I don't think it's like it definitely I think all 4 of these teams could make the playoffs, but I don't think they all 4 will be, but any 4 could make the playoffs, but it won't be all 4. Because one thing that is important that we're leaving out is all 4 of these teams have to play each other 4 times, like 2
each
times
play
each.
each other twice.
So they're gonna be taking shots like at each other. Like you're not gonna get another week, like a lot of weeks where the Lions win and the Packers win and the Vikings win. Like there's gonna be many weeks, 8 weeks.
Yeah,
would that be where the Vikings? Like one of those teams has to take a loss. And if you want all 4 teams to squeak in, you're going to have the rest of the NFC really struggle, like the rest of the non-division winners. And right now we have Tampa Bay, who's playing like one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. Also Atlanta, like one of those teams are probably, I mean, obviously one of them is going to win a division, but most likely the other will make the playoffs if they continue playing like they are. Philly, they're not playing up to their standards right now. We would expect them to get going. And maybe Washington takes a step back, but they could still remain in that conversation. I think the NFC is a lot better than what people thought it was going to be this season. And why I think any of those four could make it, I don't think all four will, because they have to take so many hits playing each other multiple times a season. And it's by far the most competitive and most dominant division in the NFL right now. I mean, the Bears are 4th and they're 4-2. That's incredible.
Yeah. And obviously that's tied with the Packers. They are a game behind the Lions, but only because the Lions had a bye week. And then the Lions are only a game behind the Vikings. So it's a really tight division.
Super excited to see how the rest of this year plays out for the NFC North and for the rest of the NFL. So we will see you guys next week when we recap week 7, see what happened with these NFC North teams, see what happened with these new wide receivers in their new places, see what happened with Russell Wilson, see what happened with all these storylines and situations. So stay tuned. We will see you guys next week. Hopefully we will be presenting what the punishment is next week. So make sure you stay tuned to our Instagram, KA_football, and pay attention to there when we're announcing things and having votes and polls up this week. And unfortunately, you know, we aren't going to be here. We're going to be online again. So make sure you go hit up that GoFundMe page and make sure that Austin drops out of college. So we will see you guys next week, and thank you for watching.